I'm actually, that is so powerful to me. Like, cause I'm on that journey, like you're saying, of just acknowledging who I am as I was told in my mentor session, the highest office is to be a daughter of God. And that sonship is universal. So when we say son, I can be a son too because of our eldest brother, Jesus Christ. But the highest office is for us to receive and to walk out that journey of what it means to be a son, a daughter, if you will, of Christ. And so we're all on that journey. And so part of that is to be aware. So I'm gonna read this definition. If we want to set this, we want to hit it hard because listen, y'all, get ready for season three. This is the third season of In Love with Love podcast. Because Anja said it, she hit the nail on the head. We're going deeper. And so there will be many more pauses, Selah moments of inner deep reflection to make us better, to make us whole, and to really just to sit in the seat of sonship. Yeah. And so the 5 key concepts, it says self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. So I'll read it because we want to make sure we really understand. Like the first one is self-awareness, recognizing your own emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behaviors. It's about knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, and triggers, which is a big one because that's a buzzword. Everybody's talking about triggers nowadays. But it is important to be aware. 2, okay, self-regulation is managing or controlling your emotions, managing them, especially in stressful situations. This means being able to pause, think, and respond calmly rather than react impulsively. The motivation is having a drive to pursue goals with energy and persistence. People with high emotional intelligence are often motivated by inner goals rather than extreme external rewards. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. So you understand where they're coming from, you get it. It involves recognizing the emotional needs of others and responding with care and consideration. And the last one we mentioned was social skills, effectively managing relationships, building networks, and finding common ground. This includes clear communication, conflict resolution, and teamwork. And wow. I got one more sentence I'm going to read and I'm going to be done. Emotional intelligence is valuable in many aspects of life, such as leadership, personal relationships, conflict resolution, and mental well-being. Unlike IQ, which measures cognitive abilities, the IE is about navigating emotional aspects of interactions, making it a key factor in making it a key factor in personal and professional success. I'm done. That for whatever reason, the enemy did not want me to get through that.
Makes a lot of sense because an emotionally intelligent person is a healthy and effective person. That's what I heard. Like all of those things and factors, when a person is working towards all of that, that leads to effectiveness. And as we are speaking about kingdom and in life, that leads to an effective person in the kingdom.
Yes, that's good.
You know? So of course he wouldn't want you to get through that. Seriously, the frustration was ridiculous. But the reality is that God needs us emotionally well.
And if we're fostering care in relationships, in pastoral relationships, in evangelistic relationships, if we have mentorships, sisters, brothers, all of the things, right? We're leading other people, not only leading ourselves. Like we have to have a bandwidth and a capacity to hold or uphold other people emotionally. And so what we're talking about is relationships. We're talking, in particular, we're highlighting, of course, as we will be highlighting romantic relationships. It does expand to all relationships.
All relationships, parental relationships, sibling relationships, working relationships. What is going on? Like all of these motorcycles literally just came right behind me. But you know what? We will prevail. And they're literally just kind of posted behind me, too. We will prevail. I wanted to say, though, the importance of effectiveness, as we were just talking about that, being effective for the kingdom, especially because I literally just said, regardless of whether you got what you wanted in the presidential race or you did not, all hands are still on deck. It's time to get work done. And I believe that the foundation of that, first of all, the very foundation is Christ, period, point blank. And on top of that foundation, then we get to the nuts and bolts of being, emotional intelligence. Of course, we have in in healthcare or in science, they call it Maslow's hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, these things just put up right next to me.
I don't hear them though, so that's a good
well,
thing.
Praise Jesus. Okay, that's good. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know that. So now I'm gonna go hard. There's Maslow's hierarchy that talks about like shelter, water, those things being foundational. And so then on top of that, then you get a chance to get to the emotional aspect of certain things, so we can build higher to it. But it also it all meshes together with Christ being the absolute foundation of it. So if we have shelter, we don't have to worry about things like shelter. We don't have to worry about things like food, water, and stuff. So that allows us to look at our emotional relationships. First of all, being our emotional relationship with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how that's probably the most important relationship outside of Christ that we could have. Because if we're not true to ourselves, how are we going to be true to anything or anybody else?
That's perfectly perfect. I couldn't have said it any better. And I think a couple of things to point out too: roadblocks or hindrances to emotional intelligence, what I've noticed have been trauma, us seeing through an unhealed perspective or lens, seeing things through our experiences, which our experiences, perception is reality sometimes. So we can see it away, but it doesn't mean that it's God's truth for us. Just because we've experienced something and see it away, it doesn't mean that it's true and it doesn't align for us. And then another thing that I'm noticing is specifically surrounding around, like you keep saying, okay, my chicken's done, y'all. Is surrounding the election is that spirit of religion and also pride. So if I'm puffed up in pride and I think that I know a thing, and now it's like competition, and I've noticed people posting like, I told you so, like, I told you we're going to win, like, I told you Trump was going to win, right? All of these things. But where is the heart of God in I told you so? And so those things sometimes can be a block, because now I'm not empathizing with my brother or my sister for whatever reason. If their candidate didn't win for whatever reason, I no longer am demonstrating a level of emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, that goes right along with what you were just mentioning. And I was just saying some of those roadblocks or obstacles, along with the basic needs not being met, are also those things like a religious heart, a prideful heart, an unhealed heart can stop, just like they talked about triggers.
And also how we affect our issues onto other people.
Yeah.
We had just talked about Kev on stage and how he was at some, whatever concert or whatever. It wasn't a Christian, well, it wasn't a biblical thing or anything, but he had like a glass of margarita in his hand or whatever. And many people had something to say about that. And what I've encountered lately, even with me going to a concert last night, it was like some people, and this is Babyface, y'all. It wasn't Blueface. I don't even know who Blueface is, but I know that he does. I think he does rap or something like that. It's a Babyface concert. Crooner. The man is 65 years old. Okay. Within that, how it has rubbed some people who may have had a history with Babyface or just being in that space and that time frame, it may have rubbed them, kind of like brought back some memories of whatever for them. Yeah. Whereas I don't have those memories.
But that's the experience that I'm talking about. Like, exactly. For example, if your experience is, oh, this is demonic, this is evil, well, that's not my experience. Right? And your experience is your be truth. That's the thing.